to give away one's power. Good way of making this connection. Engaged and relaxed, okay? It's a flow, strong contact with the ground. Piano the toes, shock absorption, grounded and also flexible. This one book, I am a huge student of a warrior philosophy through time, of course, archery, and this warrior philosophy in general. And so this is an amazing book on the warrior's path, philosophy, fighting, and martial arts mythology by Daniel Bolelli. It's an Italian martial artist. And I just want to read you this one thing that I think was super relevant to setting our stance. And it is this: the essential attribute of the warrior is his refusal to give away one's power, or her, okay? This giving away of the power. So, because we want to harness our power, right? We don't want to just be giving our power away. We want to be the masters of our universe, right? Of our power. And setting our stance has a lot to do with our power. Grounding it down. You know, it is just a law of physics, right? With force. Each force has an opposite force. So, setting our stance. The first thing is lining ourselves up with our target. Now, I'll start archers in what's called a straight stance, meaning, let's try to get back here, okay, that our feet are going to be in line with the target, okay? Our hip, our bow arm side, the arm with the arm guard, faces the target, right? We'll start like this, lined up. The way our feet are positioned is not exactly totally responsible for your stability, okay? It's going to be the other aspects of setting your stance, because with Olympic archery, also we'll use an open stance, okay? So we'll line the target up with the ball of the back foot, okay? Lining up the target, and with the front foot pulls back. Let's see if you can get me here, right? We pull back, and then we open our hips to the target, okay? You got to start somewhere. And it is totally cool to start with this straight stance. We'll see if it's comfortable or not. And then we can adjust. So lining yourself up with the target. Okay. And then I'll also point to the target as well, especially when I'm holding my bow. Right. So I'll line up myself with the target and I'll point also. Why? Because if someone's like, hey, Charlie, hey, Louise, point to that stop sign, and you're like, oh, boom. Your body has a really good way of making this connection. And so I'll, like, after I line myself up, point to the target, bring my bow arm down. Now, that's getting yourself lined up with the target. Now, if you were in class with me, I'd also have you at this point, or really at the end of the first day, I would have you do a little homework assignment, which would be to research and think about, okay, what is your favorite tree? You know, if you were a tree, what would that tree look like? Right? So this helps you to be a little creative and not just figure out what tree you'd be. More importantly, the root system of the tree. Okay. And first of all, most trees are either have a tap root that kind of looks like a carrot or a fibrous root system. And it's important to figure this out. Number one, it's a little fun. You're using your creative side. And when you're able to be creative, that means you're in a relaxed state, which we always want to be shooting when we're more relaxed. Okay. Engaged and relaxed. Okay. It's a flow. And so, understanding and having a visual of roots is extremely important, because once you line yourself up with the target, you want to visualize, okay, extremely powerful tool, roots going down from your feet into the earth. Okay, visualization, extremely powerful tool. For me, I'm like a southern magnolia. A southern magnolia has these extremely thick, fibrous roots, okay? They almost look like tap roots, but it's many of them. And they jut out at a deep, steep angle. Boom. Very strong, powerful trees. I love magnolias. I love how they smell. I love that they're a little bit messy, right? Because I'm a little bit messy and that's okay. And they smell amazing, right? When they bloom and they look beautiful. They kind of look like a lotus flower, but you know. Okay, so here we go. Lining ourselves up with the target, okay? Next, we form this connection to the ground. We don't send the roots down quite yet, but we need that visualization. So first we line ourselves up, point to the target, bow by my side, okay? Next, we create this strong contact with the ground, grounding. We do this by pianoing the toes, right? Literally taking a moment to feel the earth. So you push down, piano the toes, now the heels, then the centers of the foot, and we feel this connection, right? All four corners of the feet. You want to feel the earth. You want to feel your weight on the earth, right? We're always supported if we just take a second and feel the support, right? Our weight pushing down on the earth. Now that we feel the connection with our feet and our proprioception working and active, now we'll set down the roots, okay? So I'm visualizing literally these roots drawing down into the earth, stabilizing us, okay? Stabilizing you. Next, after we send down these roots, we're now going to engage the thighs. We never want to lock out the knees. However, the thigh muscles are engaged, right? So if you put your hands on your thighs and you pull up on the thighs, you're going to feel the knees rise up a little bit, okay? You don't want to lock the knees, but the thighs are engaged, okay? Again, this is a flow. You know, we're actively engaged and relaxed at the same time, right? It really is like ballet dancers, extremely powerful, right? Holding each other up by a finger. I mean, these people are engaged and graceful as they move through space. It's the same thing here. So, thighs engaged. Next, we're going to engage the tush and also the lower abs. So what we're doing here is we're going to tuck our tailbone underneath us, okay? In ballet, they call this tucking. Martial arts, we also tuck the tailbone underneath us. And what this is going to do is it's going to take the curve out of the low back. Now, why do we do that? The curves, we have 3 curves in our back, and the curves are in place for a primary reason of shock absorption, right? As we move through space, right? And each time our foot hits the ground, there's an impact and there's a vibration going through. It's for shock absorption. So we're not bouncing in our stance. We want to be super steady and fluid here, grounded and also flexible.